So let's get right to the charts. These are my favorite setups of this week. And I'm just going to do a quick breakdown of exactly how I set up and prepare my charts for the week ahead. So let's get right to it. I'm not going to do too much talking. First setup, I like GBPUSD. 4-hour time frame. We have this 4-hour uptrend. We have this liquidity build up here. Liquidity sweep, break of structure. Now I'm just gonna wait for a pullback to continue up. And it looks like this here. Fibonacci from the swing low, swing high. Break of structure. Liquidity sweep. So I'm just gonna wait for price to pull back. It's my entry. TP. Stop loss. So that's my setup on GU. And also we need to check the daily. We can see the daily's bullish also. And if you don't like the Fibonacci, you can always use an order block. We have a 4-hour order block here. This will be a supply and demand setup. We have a 4-hour order block. Price exploded up, slow retracement. Down to continue up. So that'll be my setup for GU. Daily bullish, 4-hour bullish, liquidity sweep, break of structure, retrace, entry. Euro GBP. Clearly have this 4-hour downtrend. We got this liquidity build up here. Explosive move. We just wait for a retrace to continue down. So in this case, we'll get our Fibonacci. We got our break. We have our liquidity sweep right here. So that's Euro GBP. Liquidity sweep, break of structure. Wait for a retrace to continue down. But one thing I do want to point out is on the daily time frame, we are at a, so I'm just gonna wait this out and see what happens here. But it's still valid. It's still a valid trade. Just gotta be careful because we are at a daily low. US30, 4-hour time frame. Pretty nice setup. Obviously, we're on a 4-hour uptrend. We zoom in. We have our 4-hour uptrend. We have our liquidity build up. Break of structure. Wait for a retrace to continue up. Fibonacci liquidity grab. So we just wait for a pullback to go up. And for US30, I would prefer to confirm my entry instead of just entering right away. I would need an entry confirmation. We have a 4-hour order block right here. So I'll wait for a excuse me. I would wait for a tap into the 4-hour order block. And as soon as I get that tap, switch to a 15-minute time frame and find a 15-minute order block and do the same thing. So I'll just be more careful with US30. I would confirm my entry first, but solid setup. Here. So that's US30. Pretty good setup. Liquidity sweep, breakup structure. We got a nice fair value gap right here. Price comes back, fills the gap, continue the trend. So that's US30. Pretty similar setup here. We have this 4-hour uptrend. You already see we have our liquidity sweep here. We have our nice structure break. We get our fib. Solid setup for the SPX. Let's look at GBPUSD. So here we see we have this uptrend. We were in the downtrend. We're in the downtrend. Then we got the shift of structure here. We got that structure shift. We can call that a shift of structure. So at this point we get our Fibonacci. Nice pullback to continue the trend. And then if we check the daily, we're bullish on the daily. Pullback to continue up. Only thing here, we don't really have a fair value gap, and we also don't have a valid liquidity sweep, so gotta be careful on those. But yeah, these red highlighted ones are my favorite setups of this week. GU, liquidity sweep, breaker structure, small retrace, small fair value gap to continue the trend. And then we are bullish also on the daily time frame, which is a good confirmation. Euro GBP, liquidity sweep, break, small retrace to continue. continue down, but we just got to be careful, like I said, with that right there. If this breaks here, it would be more comfortable if price would have broken this and then we had a retrace, but we just got to watch what happens down here. US30, pretty much the same thing, but we do have a daily high that's broken. 4-hour time frame. Pretty solid setup. Similar setup here. Liquidity sweep, break of structure, null retrace, and GBPUSD. So those are my favorite setups of this weekend. These other ones here, pretty solid. Not my favorite, but AUDCHF. Have a nice trend right here. Have a nice trend. Break. What I'm gonna do with this, I didn't really like this break of structure here, so I'm just gonna wait for a 15-minute or 30-minute shift of structure, entry confirmation, to continue up the trend. But this would be a nice day trade instead of a swing trade with an entry confirmation on the 4-hour. This happened on Friday, so I didn't get in, but with this reaction right here at my zone, just gives me confirmation that we are in the right trend. So I'm just gonna watch that and wait for an entry confirmation. GBPUSD. I've been in this trade forever, so I'm just watching it. I'm not really interested in it anymore. But this was a nice setup. Price is just acting up for some reason. But we had this nice uptrend. Good break of structure. Retrace. And now we're just stuck in consolidation. So we'll see what happens with that. In NZD CAD, decent setup. We had this nice downtrend. We got an aggressive shift, slow retracement. Price came tapped the zone. So with this, I didn't want to enter right away because it was Friday last week. So same thing, 30-minute or 15-minute entry confirmation. If you look closely, we have a pretty solid 30-minute order block. Let's get this out of the way. We got this nice 30-minute order block. Explosion up, pull back to continue it. But to be honest, I'm not really loving this trade, because we do have some liquidity down here. I think there's a high chance price comes down more and sweeps liquidity. Possibly continue up, but with my day trading, I only like to day trade the major pairs like GBPUSD, EURUSD, AU, stuff like that. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got. Those were just my quick little run through of my favorite setups of this week, and GU is my #1 favorite. So let's see how it goes. Hope you guys have a good trading week, and I'm out.